Welcome back everybody to another video in my channel, and specifically on the series on how to dominate on the chessboard, where I tell you and explain you my moves, I tell you some concepts, and how to play your game and slowly make the way up towards the level that you want. Like I said before we start, if you are not a huge openings fan, because I hear that a lot, like you don't have to teach us openings and stuff like that. You're free to play any opening you want. I'm just showing you how you think in the chess game, how to find ideas, how to find tactics, blunders, and all that in between. Next video will be all about how to get and break your first milestone of 1,000 ELO. And I will show you some ways you can achieve that in the next video. And this one is just another one of those how to dominate on the chessboard videos of where I get destroyed by bots. I'm joking, I destroy them. Anyway, before we start off, I like to say that please subscribe and join my Discord server, where we can talk, we can learn chess together, and slowly but surely achieve the titles that we want. Let's get back into this series called How to Dominate on the Chessboard. Okay, so let's begin with Mr. Coach here. I put him on 2000, so he's gonna play solid chess, and 2000 ELO bots can either mean like 1500, 1600 human level, or Stockfish. So, anyway, let's begin. I will probably try in the next one to play against humans, unrated of course. I don't want to hurt my rating, but for now I'm going to be playing with bots. If playing with humans doesn't work because chess.com, doesn't allow this fair play thing when you record stuff during games, we're just going to keep playing with bots. So, I'm going to start with d4. This is what I normally play against in my games, trying to get a Queen's Gambit, a Catalan, or a Trompowsky attack. d5, he responds with d5, and like I said in the introduction, you're free to play any opening you want. I will play the Queen's Gambit. Oh, that's an interesting response. Now, most people here just take this pawn, and they have not the greatest position of their lives. So what I like to do in this position is actually just play knight to f3. This is theory. Okay, so now we're back into this kind of Queen's Gambit decline situation. So I'm going to play Catalan. This is a weapon that I recommend almost everybody to play. I haven't made a video on it yet, but I will make one soon. He takes the pawn. That's the entire point of the Catalan, by the way, to just completely give that pawn up and castle, and have a very good bishop against a very delicate position against black. Like, the queen side is very delicate for black sometimes. Anyway, so he brings the queen out. That's actually a very suboptimal spot for the queen, but it's a 2000 boss, so you could literally be Stockfish, Komodo, or Leela playing this. Knight to f6, okay, normal. Now let's play a4. a4 is a very restrictive move. It restricts play on the queen side and the defense of the c4 pawn. And now he goes knight to e4. I have no clue what this does, and I don't intend to find out either. So we can just start immediately by punishing our opponent. We can go queen to c2 or e3, reinforce everything, or bring out the bishop. I'm going to go with a little bit more restrictive playstyle for myself. E3 here, solidifying the pawn center, and going queen to c2, threatening something here, a little bit of a tactical flair. Lots of fun movers today. This bot is really wanting to do some bad stuff. I can see what is under threat. This is just fine for me. He's only up a pawn. Yeah, it's kind of a delicate position. You need to be very active here with black, because sometimes you will struggle. Struggling here in this position, not the greatest thing ever. We can already start punishing the opponent really badly with a move like knight to d2, which basically almost guarantees the winning of the knight. But he has that move, but we can keep applying pressure to the knight. Let's go here. He retreats. That gives back the pawn, huh? That's an interesting move. Now, when I'm here, if you're like on this position, well, you might as well take the knight. The way you evaluate if it's a trade, well, a good trade, well, Black's kind of got a bit of a restricting play here on the center. So by removing his pieces, we actually remove a little bit of pressure. I swear to God, I put him on 2000. What the fuck is that? Okay. Look, I swear to God, I put him on 2000. I swear, I'm not trolling. I put him on 2000. I'm trolling. I will show you right after this. well, we can win a queen, but is it a... Well, we give 2 pieces for it. 2 really good pieces, not gonna lie. I'll do it anyway. I mean, that's just 2 pieces for the queen are always good. Sometimes you should probably not give away your pieces for the queen, especially in situations where your pieces are actually better than the queen. Like, they can just uh, knock off enemy attacks. But our opponent has just a terrible structure, has no queen, triple pawns, triple isolated pawns, which are even worse than normal double pawns because they're tripled. They're not supposed to be tripled. Anyway, we need to find a way to remove this knight in our position here. So let's go here. And then we're going to go bishop to d2 and knight to c1, trying to remove this very powerful knight. He's trying to win the pawn, of course. That's a good move. Let's go rook to b1. And somewhere Gotham chess tingles a little bit. Wow, d5. d5 is trying to earn some space. I completely understand the point of that move. We can take because we're up material. I'll just take because we're up material, and I can just continue the removal process of the knight. Doesn't take back. Oh, I guess he thought that my knight could go to f4. Well, my plan is to go bishop to c, queen to c2, and then bishop to d2 and knight to c1. Okay, not taking my pawn back immediately. Sure, now let's go here. You can take my pawn. I can't even defend it anyway. So, okay, and now let's go knight to c1. This knight will most likely be traded. And the more pieces you trade off from your opponent, the easier it's going to be for you to remove counterplay. So let's trade. And actually, it's even worse than this, because if he takes with the pawn, he loses a bishop. He takes with the rook, which is the best move. And now, how do we apply pressure? We can attack another pawn. Bishop to c3, attacking the pawn. Right, the pawn moves. We can add pressure to the pawn, but it will be at the cost of another pawn. However, we can actually ignore... What I'm thinking here is f4, which normally hangs a pawn here. But actually, after f4, my idea is to take. And even though I'm sacrificing a pawn, remember the concept. If you have a lot of material, sometimes it's fine to sacrifice a pawn to remove the counterplay from your opponent. So let's do that. Now he's going to take my pawn with the rook, and we'll take here, and we'll take here, and we'll go here. And now my opponent will literally have 0 counterplay. Boom, boom. Like that. And your opponent has 0 counterplay now, and you can probably even sack your rook. Okay, that's a move. Attacks the... Puts pressure to the pawn, and really attacks it. We can attack the rook, so we might as well. He takes it, fine. I'll give away my pawn, because I can actually win your pawn. Remember that. Alright, then he trades further. Rook and queen can easily beat up a bishop and a rook. So let's just go up. Take this pawn. Good. And you always need to watch out for... Oh, didn't see that. Well, here's the funniest part. The reason why my mind did not pick up this move is because we're actually completely winning. And according to the computer, it's a checkmate here. Which is nuts. Can you think of a way to try and threaten checkmate? Well, I will take that, honestly. I'm still completely winning. Rook versus bishop in this situation is really bad. Because of the pawns. And I'm still completely winning. But there's a way to threaten checkmate, huh? Oh, he's just talking about taking this. Oh, fine. Okay, cool. We'll just stop a pawn. And what we need to do is preserve our pawns on the sides. It will be really... Because of the way the nature of this endgame is, it will be really difficult for him to hang on to his pawns. And we can just walk our king like this. Attack him. And even sacrifice our rook for the pawn. Not right now, because reasons. Well, we can also just play the move check and then sack. I need to calculate if I'm in time. Okay, let me calculate. Here, 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 here. I think I'm in time. And now we shoulder the king away. Here, like this, and now we just push. And because of the nature of the pawns, he can't actually attack us. Now we need to make sure that we got a red carpet for the pawn, and now it's gonna go. And it's gonna go, and he's not even in time to stop our pawn. He's just dead, and if you make a rook here, I think this is probably a draw, so we're going to keep it simple and make a queen. And now we are gonna force our opponent into Zugzwang, and now our opponent has not a single good move. Here, trying to win the pawns, and now watch out for stalemate, always watch out for stalemate. Bring your queen, and slowly do the checkmate. Just force your opponent to the corner. And another check. I could have probably done this in a lot better, but and up and checkmate. That was a that was a pretty good game, I gotta say. Ooh, that was a good game. It was. I don't understand why the bot decided to throw like that. But yeah, this is. I played something that looks like a Catalan. Yeah, so if I think a4 is like one of the top lines. Oh, actually, was winning with knight to e5. I cannot understand that move whatsoever. Let me turn on engine lines. A4 is not in any of those top engine lines. But if you decide to play the Catalan or the Queen's Gambit, A4 is actually a very good restrictive move, and it prevents enemy movement. So that's my game with white. Now let's move on with my game with black. But before this, I want to know if this was any good for my opponent. Yeah, it was really bad for my opponent because of this, and apparently could have taken. Takes, and after it takes, I guess you just win the pawn. Okay, I obviously do not. He had that. I knew that, and I would just have this triangle of pawns, and he would, if he kept defending, like for you can't defend. Never mind, I'm stupid. If he went here, then I would have protected my pawns, and then his queen would look stupid, and my bishop would have been so powerful. That was the entire point of my plan. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the second game with black. But before we go to the second game, I gotta prove to you that it was actually 2000. Expert means 2000. I'm not putting him above that because then it literally becomes Stockfish. So yeah, let's go to the next game. Alright, for the second game, you might be wondering why I'm playing with Isabel. It's because Chess.com actually charges you for playing with the codes. And I used my free trial. So, d4. Now, you can play anything you want against d4. The most likely outcomes that will come after d4 are bishop to f4, which is the most common, c4, Queen's Gambit, or something completely bananas. So we're going to play the move knight to f6, which is basically the Indian defenses, which is basically one of the most solid ways to get better at countering on d4. c4, now let's play g6, and while the Chess Crusader plays the King's Indian, we cannot yet play what I want to play. The bot is playing a completely different thing. There we go. So, we can play something here that's called the Grunfeld defense, which is basically a sacrifice, you could say, of the center, but you just put a lot of pressure into the position. So let's we can take that. Honestly, it's not a bad move. Let's take that. Look at this. This is just ugly. I mean, this is just horrific for the bot. I think it wasn't even the best move. And now we can play moves like c5 here, by the way, which is kind of insane. And then we just check them, and if you block with the queen or the bishop, I'll just take your pawns, and you block with that. Now your pawn is hanging. What the hell is that? Oh, okay, that's a move. You're free to play anything you want. Let's just put our queen over here. The rook is hanging, but it's not worth to take that rook, honestly. Now let's put some pressure to the pawn. It's gonna trade. And wow, did not expect that. Well, that's a move. Okay, now I'm getting worried that I'm actually playing. What? Wait, what? So I've equalized my material in a shocking turn of events. That should not have happened, but it happened. Now we could try to win the A pawn, but it's not really worth it. So let's instead bring our thingy back. Let's go. Let's just stay here. Let's stay on this diagonal. Okay, he wants to trade stuff. Do we trade? Do we oblige? Well, we could oblige. I could also take in the center. Probably that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take in the center first and then go here. Okay, he does take. Okay, he does take. He does take. I can pin him. I can take. Take. I got a lot of options here. I hate it when I have a lot of options because I don't know what to play. Let's go here, try to pin this guy. Okay, he does take my Grunfeld bishop. That bishop normally is a very strong piece in the in your position. And I think we can just almost win a bishop here, if I'm not completely mistaken. Like here, try to put pressure. Whoa, that was a pre-move. Holy shit. Guess the bot pre-move. That's not the greatest sign, but fine. Okay, he does overprotect. He does overprotect. Let's go. What's a very good move here? Let's think a little bit. What do we got? We could take the bishop, and then would win the pawn, but then our position would be very cramped. But I will just take the bishop and probably move my knight somehow. If I take the pawn, then there might be queen to c8 stuff, and I don't really feel comfortable with my position whatsoever. So I will just bring a knight out. Let's give the check. Okay, you can have my pawn. You can have my pawn. I don't care about that pawn. Doesn't take the pawn. Wait, is the bot going to make a draw? Is the bot going to make a draw with me? No. A little too short-lived. Let's make our opponent's king move. That's a good thing to do. And now they can castle, although it's not even that big of a deal. But it's a good thing to achieve. Let's go here. It just takes a little bit longer to, you know, get settled. And we can win a piece, by the way. Clean piece. Almost win the piece. Oh. That's why you don't win the piece. Because the queen has that move. Now we can trade the queens and bring the knight. Or we can trade the queen on our terms. Like that. And now we didn't activate her knight. So we'll have to spend one extra move to activate it. Like that. And we can actually use that as an opportunity to bring our pieces to the party. You don't always have to trade on your opponent's terms. Remember that, children? You don't have to trade with your opponent's terms. Okay. He wants trade. Do we give him trade? Do I really want to give him some trades? I think I have to take that and then go down. Wow, that's a horrible move. Holy shit. And now let's play f5. And nice. Oh, I think you made it a lot easier for me. What? I was not. Okay, when you're in such a dilemma like this, when there's a lot of captures, you should obviously start taking the free stuff in a position like this, where there's nothing. If they take your knight, well, you take the rook for free, so let's go here, trade. The pawn just... What is that? Okay, in a position like this, I have a 2-on-1. It's probably going to be worse than that, because my king actually starting to activate. Now he's going to attack my pawn. No, he's not attacking my pawns. Cool. Cool. Okay. Let's bring our king. He's going to check me? No, he's not. He's a respectable individual. Doesn't like to check people for nothing. Ooh. Tries to win my pawn. Let's not let her do that. Let's defend our pawns. And we can wobble our king. We can wobble our king here. Protect the back ranks. Fork. That's a clean fork. Always be on the lookout for opportunities like this when they arise. Check. He's gonna check me probably because he can. Okay, I don't get the point of that move, but fine. Free to do anything you want. I threatened to win another pawn. I can take this, and damn. So that's 2 free pawns. But yeah, but he has that. Okay. Check, because we can. That does nothing, so let's keep playing here. She's gonna check me again, or she's not. Let's set up a trap for the bot. Thinks he's gonna see it. Yep, of course he did. It's a bot, of course it's gonna see it. I almost pressed the resignation button. Anyway, so the trap here was if the bot, like, let's say, moved the rook back or went like this, I would just skewer the king and the rook, and we would win the rook and probably the game. We're still completely winning, by the way, just saying. I mean, my pawns. And basically what you need to do in a position like this, you bring your king, you bring your pawns like this, you slowly, you can even cut the king off if you want, like that, and you push your pawns and you're unstoppable, like that. And boom, support your pawns. If they attack your pawn, you bring your king. If they do not do that, we go here, and let's push, and a rook cannot stop two pawns in the third or second rank, because it's basically impossible at this point. And now we're gonna make a queen. I'm gonna make a knight, but it's a little too disrespectful here. And let's go and oh no, my queen. He's gonna take the queen. And now we're gonna make a knight. Boom, boom, boom. I need to disrespect the bot, guys. I'm sorry. Boop, 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 boop. I'm sorry, guys. I need to disrespect the bot today. I feel like a refreshed individual. This is no longer a guide on how to win. It's a guide on how to disrespect your opponent. Anyway, let's go back to checkmating. I've made a YouTube short about the rook checkmate. You just bring your king. Unless to do that, but I completely forgot because I was trying to castle with a pre-move. Now here. Here. And boom. And here, Zugzwang is just, you prevent your death. I'm starting to get worried. Yeah, you probably should. And now we dance around with the horses. It's the festival of the horse, which is basically a nickname for Ferrari, the car, and the company. And now we just dance, we wobble around with the horses and wobble them around a little bit, and then we actually become serious chess players again, and we actually checkmate our opponent. That was good. That was really good. I want to see if I was doing well in the opening, because I think I played the opening a little bit incorrectly. Yeah, this is not the Grunfeld, this is the Anglo-Indian. Ah, I was doing fine. Never mind, I was not. It wanted knight to a6, which is the same concept with a different move. You're still undermining the center. That's the point of the Grunfeld. The Grunfeld, if you're wondering what it is, it's c4, g6, knight to c3, and d5. With the whole point of it being that you are giving your opponent a huge center, but you're gonna slowly start throwing bombs at it to try and undermine it, with moves like queen to a5 and knight to c6 and bishop to g5 and then a6 and b5 in the future. And basically the center collapses, basically, if you're not careful with white. I did pretty well though. And this endgame, this is basically what I said, and yeah, that's all. Hope you liked what you saw. Let me know if you want more of these, and see you guys very soon.